Hey everyone, it's me from my car again. I'm here today to talk real quick about September's Hella Handmade Creations shop. If you've never shopped from Hella Handmade Creations, it's kind of similar to Polish Pickup, except there's not one overarching theme. Each maker has a 6-month series that they do. So it's really fun in that way that the makers get to pick what they want to, have inspire their polishes. So briefly, Hella Handmade Creations opens on, they're based out of Hawaii. So if you're on the East Coast like I am, it's kind of funky. It's like midnight East Coast time on what's technically the 14th. So you'll see in my posts I have or the 13th, I guess, so like 12:01 on the 13th. And it's open through the 21st. That doesn't change every month. Like Polish Pickup's always the first weekend after the first of the month, whenever that falls. Hella Handmade Creations has its own like solid date range. So anyway, so the timing on that, okay, it's technically the 14th. So 14th at 12:01 a.m. So if you're also on like the West Coast, it's 13th. Yep, it's the 13th for you, but it's like 3 hours behind. It's kind of funky. So that's how Hella Handmade Creations opens. Everything's coming out of Hawaii for that, but a bunch of brands partake. It's a really fun way to try a bunch of different brands as well. And like I said, about every 6 months, their series change. So I will have swatches up on my Instagram at Polished Bookworm, but we're gonna get over to the swatches real quick. Also this month, the Halloween shop is open for Hella Handmade Creations. So there's a whole special little section in there to make sure you check out.
So let's get started with some newcomers to Hella Handmade Creations. This is Cracked Polish's first time participating in HHC, and I am so excited for them, and I'm so excited for you if you have not tried Cracked. This is a real good one. Cracked is, they just had their like 1-year anniversary. They are a woman of color owned brand by someone in the community who she's just such a freaking rock star, and she's just really been killing it with these launches. I've swatched for them from the beginning of their inception, and I do their website photos, and I'm so excited for them to be part of Hella Handmade Creations. So for their first foray into HHC, they created their first series. It's really inspired by all things indie and like going down in the rabbit hole. So this is for the love of indie, and it's a dark blurple polish, and it has a really, really soft magnetic blurple pigment to it as well. It's a really, really soft magnet. It's very, very subtle. If you have a really strong magnet, you can definitely get it to pull, but as you can tell, it's also a very, very strong multi-chrome shift. It has pink, purple, and aqua shifting flakes, pink glitters, and blue shimmers, and just like the super, super strong purple shift, as you can see. And here you can see some of the magnetic as well. Here I did actually magnetize my nails, but I don't think, it might have been like a magnet thing on my part, or I didn't leave it long enough. So it's very subtle. You can't tell, and I kind of don't think it needs it, to be honest. You can see it's a super, super strong multi-chrome. It's very, very shifty. And then they are also bringing to the Halloween shop Clotted, which is this really funky red. And it's inspired by the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland. It's mostly inspired by the quote off of her head. So Clotted is described as a deep, warm red that is enriched with gold and copper shifting flakes and red shimmers. So you can see it. I mean, it's a nice warm red. I don't think it leans too orangey. Warm brick red is kind of the vibe for this one. And it's really nice. The flakes complement it really well. It's a great formula. It builds really well. And this bottle is capped at 200, or this polish is capped at 200 bottles, as is for the love of indie. So the multi-chrome is also capped at 200 bottles. But how exciting. If you've not tried Cracked before, I highly suggest them. A lot of obviously I work with them, so there is that. A lot of the staples of my nail collection have come from Cracked. They just do really, really good staples of like, oh, I've been wanting to try that. And Cracked has all kinds of great colors, and I find everything really flattering, as well as the formula being really nice. But this is 3 coats of Clotted over my natural nails. Next up, we have one of my favorite polishes, or one of my favorite duos from this month. This is the Bubbles and the Watery from Phoenix Indie Polish. And they're beginning a new series inspired by card capper Sakura. And these polishes are inspired by 2 cards of the same name. So the Bubbles is the pink, so that's the base. And it's described as a cold pink with green to blue iridescent micro flakies. I'm obsessed with this color. I love it. I've worn it so much. And then when you add the Watery over it as a topper, um, it's just such a good duo. So this polish actually goes on really nicely with longer nails. You might want like 3 coats for full like non-visible nail line coverage, but if you have shorter nails, I think you could get really good coverage with only 2 coats. But then the Watery is a mix of iridescent green to blue and chrome green flakes and iridescent micro flakes as well. So I love it. It kind of has like this blue shift to it that you can see on the nail, which I just really, 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 really love. This is 3 coats over my natural nails, your base. You can see the blue shift on it is very strong, which I love. I love a blue shift on a polish. And my thumb just has the Watery over the color itself. And then on this hand, I have just the flakies and give 3 coats of the flakies over just a clear or like, like a pink jelly base. And then Phoenix Indie Polish is also participating in the Halloween shop with another duo called The Little Mouse and Grand High Witch. And it's inspired by the witches. Both of these duos, by the way, the duos themselves are capped at 150, so there's only 150 sets of each. And then the bottles for the Bubbles and the Watery will be available individually as well, and those are also capped, I believe those are capped at 150 each as well. The Halloween duo is only sold as a duo. So with this, we have Grand High Witch, which I think I just got notification that they might be flipped, but the base, if you will, the brown polish is a hot brown with violet to red shimmer. And then the flakies are pink, gold, and green iridescent with black to red microflakes. So it is a little different. I couldn't find my bottle of Girl Dragon to compare, but this is a really warm brown color. It's not as cool as Girl Dragon is. I'm in love with it, as I tend to be. But this is 3 coats over my natural nail. So you can see it's a really warm color. And obviously that's direct sunlight. And then even in the shade, like the red really pops through on that. And this is just the topper over my thumb. And then here I have 1 coat of the topper over 2 coats of the brown base. And I really love it. It's a really good combo. I really like the base on its own, honestly. But the topper is super pretty. I'm trying to get the good lighting because I took these while at work, being a crazy person outside of my office. And now we're on to For the Love of the Game by Bees Knees Lacquer. Bees Knees is continuing their Fallout inspired series with this really cool muted color. So For the Love of the Game is described as a muted sage with strong orange to green microflake shimmer. And I like it. It's really flattering. It looks like it'd almost be a little more yellowy than you're expecting, but it's definitely sagey. It's nice and muted. It is sheer. It definitely needs at least, if you're not, I guess it depends. If you have really long, if you have really long nails, like I said, like if you have any free edge, you're probably going to want some kind of blurring base or maybe something just a little more, a little less sheer underneath. obviously I'm swatching to show you how sheer it is, but you can tell it also builds quite nicely in 3 coats, but you're going to definitely need the 3 to build it up unless you use something a little more substantial underneath. But I really like it. The shimmer on it is very strong, and it's kind of just kind of like, I love an orange shimmer, and I love that it's like this nice green color. I don't typically like some yellowy greens. I like yellow, I like green, and I do love a sage. I feel like sage is super flattering on my skin tone, but those other yellowy greens, not the best. And then also, BKL is up for Encore this month, which is exciting, and they're coming back with Evil Comes in Every Size 2.0, and this is a 2.0 because the makers always try to source like the same ingredients that they've used previously, but they can't always get them. Evil Comes in Every Size is described as a mid-toned blue Doomcorn sister with the same green to blue shimmer. There is a note in here that it might be darker than the original formula, but they did their best to recreate it. As you can see, it's a little sheer, but not, it's not crazy sheer. I did 3 coats here, and then I actually have the original as well. So after I get through with showing you full swatches of this one, because I did want to make sure I did do full swatches just to make sure that it wasn't too different. I do have a comparison with the original as well. But this is Evil Comes in Every Size 2.0 in 3 coats over my natural nails in my parking lot at work. It's a real beauty. And then these are both of them. So in the bottle, they do look a little different. So the top one is the original. So the one on the right, that's the original. And then the one on the left is the new one. So the green shimmer looks stronger in the one on the right, the original. So I was wondering, like, is it just a timing thing in the bottle? Is it a formula thing? But when you put them on, my middle finger is going to be the new one. And then my index finger is going to be the original. They're really not that different. So on the first coat, you might think, okay, there's like a little bit of a difference, very slight. You could kind of see it or whatever in the bottle, but nothing too crazy. And I only built it up to 2. I think I might have done 3. We'll see. But really, it builds up the same. So after the first coat, as you start building it, they're identical, pretty much. I'm never going to say 100% yes, this is identical, because some people's eyes pick up things differently. Also, application is different. So like you can see, I actually applied a bit of a thicker coat to my index finger, but here you go. I mean, they're pretty identical, and there's no cap on either of these. And now we're going to go into this lovely duo by Penelope Luz. They're continuing their Goddesses of Mythology collection with Amaterasu, which is the white Crelly, and then Sun Goddess is the topper. So off the rip, I cannot find my video of these on my nails, but I do have pictures of them on my nail polish Insta. I posted them on the Hella Handmade Creations Facebook page. Slide into my DMs if you need them. I cannot find video of this on, but there's a 200 cap on the duo as a whole, and I believe 150 to 200 bottles of each polish individually. So Amaterasu is a white Crelly with a gold shimmer, and it has flakies in it as well that are gold, and it's very pretty. It builds really nicely in the white, and that gold shimmer is it goes very well. I like it a lot. As a base, you know me, I'm a white shimmer girly. And then I feel like they made such a good topper for this as well. I love all of the toppers. This is Sun Goddess, and it has blue flakies in it, gold hollow glitters. And I feel like the gold hollow glitter really does a good job at accentuating everything. But I really love this duo. Next up for HHC, we have Emily Damali's Papilio Maackii. I am not entirely sure if I'm saying that correctly, but they are continuing their theme that's inspired by butterflies and moths. And this polish is so pretty. Emily Damali does such a great job. I'm just a real big fan. They have such good quality polishes, and their shimmers and everything are super, super beautiful, and I'm a big fan. This polish is capped at 320 bottles. So, that means there's only 320 bottles of this polish when shop opens, and it is described as a deep green shimmer that has like a subtle shift to blue and purple, which I definitely saw. It's a very strong green. Um, It's just kind of a strong green, and I saw a lot more of the blue in the natural lighting and whatnot when I swatched it, and you'll see at the end through my natural light pictures that I actually show. You can see more of the shift at least, but it is a shimmer, so it's not like a full multi-chrome where you're going to get like a super super strong shift on it. But there is a really really nice one there. You can see when I dip my nail pretty low. You can see some of the blue there as well, and it's very pretty. It goes on beautifully. You only need 2 coats for opacity, and this is 2 coats over my natural nails, and you can see, especially towards my nail bed, where the blue is really coming through. You can even see a little bit of the purple as well. Next up, we have Cuticula, and they are continuing their Dreamlight Valley series. And this is Beauty, which is inspired by Belle from Beauty and the Beast. And this is such a lovely one. Cuticula does great flakies as well. This is Beauty, and it has a white crelly base, and it has in the background you've got some nice, really pretty blue shifting glass flakies, and blue and bronze metallic flakies as well. And it builds really nicely. You can see in 2 coats. It's still kind of sheer because it is a white crelly. You'll get more coverage on shorter nails, but you might want to go in with a third. Um, I don't mind. I feel like it's an appropriate amount of visible nail line. It doesn't bother me. The flakies really do their job, but it's so pretty. The blue metallic flakies on this one really pop. I really love it. And this is actually 3 coats still over just because I wanted to do 3 to see if I could blur my nail line, and it did a really good job. And last but certainly not least, I have some goodies from BCB, Lacquers, and to Hella Handmade Creations this month. They're bringing one of their polishes for their fairy tales, the anime fairy tales inspired theme, and they're also have like an incredible cuticle oil that I don't have pictures or video of, but it smells so good. So I'll talk about the cuticle oil first. The cuticle oil is called Fierce, and it's like this super cool 6 milliliter click pen, and it smells so fresh and so good. BCB Lacquers does some of my favorite cuticle oils ever, and that one is capped at 150. And this polish is You Must First Know What Makes You Weak, and it's capped at 300 bottles, and this is 2 coats over my natural nails without a blurring base, and it is a red jelly with red to orange to gold multi-chrome flakes. And BCB is also bringing a really cool solar duo to the Hella Handmade Creations Halloween shop, and it's inspired by Halloweentown, which is a movie that I super love. So this is a really fun one. I just love Halloweentown in general. This duo itself, the polishes are not sold separately, and it's capped at 200, so there's only 200 sets of this. This first polish is Bubble Bubble Toil and Trouble, and it is a solar polish that shifts from gray to purple, and it has purple, blue, and green glass flakes and purple, blue, and green multi-chrome flakes. So solars, not thermals, you're hot and you're cold and you shift. Solars shift in the sun in UV. So it is gray. You can see it's even kind of purple because I'm getting UV on my balcony. And it's a gray that shifts fast to this purple, bright, like just really vibrant purple color in the sun. And it's so cool. And then the other is Mortals See, Mortals Do. And this one is a yellow. So indoors, no UV, it's yellow with, it shifts like the soft pink in outside lighting. And under UV or black light, it'll be like maroon, but I wasn't able to get that through the UV, even if, you know, top coats and stuff aside. But it has pink, orange, and gold glass flakes and purple, red, and blue multichrome flakes. I feel like the pink flakes in this really like set it off. I'm a yellow fan in general. I like the shade of yellow. I love yellow just in general. But the pink flakes in this, look at it. It's so cool. So even if you're not getting like a super strong UV shift, the pink goes so well. And you'll see I'm actually using Holo Taco's glossy top coat for this because it does shift. You can see it does have a nice shift to that like soft pink color in natural UV light. You'll get a different response using a UV light or a black light.
So quick outro. I've been trying to talk slower. I know that I'm a fast talker. But that was Hella Handmade Creations for September, including like the Hella Handmade Creations Halloween shop. So there's some really cool stuff from there. But let me know what you're gonna get. Let me know if you have any questions about anything that I posted or Hella Handmade Creations in general. And I hope you have a great day. See you later.